Should equality before the law always mean equal treatment? Hi everyone, today I'd like to discuss an important question in constitutional law and political philosophy. Should equality before the law always mean treating everyone exactly the same? Most democratic countries recognize equality before the law as a fundamental principle. Regardless of wealth, race, gender, or social status, every person should receive the same legal protection and be subject to the same legal obligations. This principle prevents governments from granting unfair privileges to some groups while discriminating against others. Without legal equality, justice cannot exist. However, treating everyone exactly the same does not always produce fair results. Consider two students taking the same examination. One has no disabilities. The other is visually impaired. If both students are required to take the same test under identical conditions without any accommodation, have they truly been treated equally? Legally, perhaps yes, but practically, the second student begins at a significant disadvantage. This example illustrates the difference between formal equality and substantive equality. Formal equality means applying identical rules to everyone. Substantive equality recognizes that different people may require different forms of support to enjoy genuinely equal opportunities. Supporters of formal equality argue that the law must remain neutral. If governments begin making exceptions for particular groups, they risk creating new forms of discrimination. Clear and consistent rules also promote predictability, which is essential for the rule of law. Citizens should know that the law applies equally to everyone. On the other hand, supporters of substantive equality argue that identical treatment can sometimes reinforce existing inequalities. For example, scholarship programs for low-income students or reasonable accommodations for people with disabilities do not necessarily violate equality. Instead, they attempt to remove the barriers that prevent equal participation in society. Critics, however, worry that such policies may go too far. If governments provide advantages to certain groups indefinitely, others may feel they are being treated unfairly. Policies originally designed to promote equality may eventually create new inequalities. Therefore, finding the appropriate balance is extremely difficult. In my opinion, equality before the law should remain a fundamental constitutional principle. However, equal treatment should not always mean identical treatment. When individuals face significant disadvantages beyond their control, carefully designed and limited accommodations may be necessary to achieve genuine equality. The key is ensuring that such measures are transparent, proportionate, and aimed at expanding opportunities rather than creating permanent privileges. Ultimately, equality is not simply about giving everyone the same thing. It is about building a society in which every individual has a fair opportunity to exercise their rights and realize their potential. So here's my question for you. Do you think justice requires treating everyone exactly the same, or should the law sometimes treat people differently in order to achieve genuine equality? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for listening. See you next time.